students, today I am launching a new online tuition academy for you, and the name of the academy is Sai SS Academy. Welcome all of you to our new academy. I am Ashwati. Today we can start with our subject social science. As you know, you all are in the 6th class. 6th class social science includes 3 textbooks. Okay. First one is history. The name of the textbook is Our Past. Second one, geography, the earth, our habitat. Third, social and political life. So we can start with our first book, that's history, our past. Okay children, what do you know about history, or what is history? History is the study of past events or story of the past. And history will help you understand how this present evolved. So history is not just about the past, it is about the present too. The society we live in has been fashioned by those who came before us. I told you, our textbook's name is Our Past. Then arises other question, whether we have one past or many. Let us see. Okay children, our chapter's name is What, Where, How and When. Okay. So we have to find out a lot of things in this chapter, and all the things we have to find out from the past, that means from the history. Okay, here our chapter talks about how to find the past. Okay, second, what is the name of the land? Third one, how can we know about the past? What can we know about the past? And where people used to live. These 5 points we have to explain from this chapter, and the thing is that this is only what the chapter talks about. Next, the introduction is only coming. So let us start with our first chapter, what, where, how and when. We have to find out the answers, what happened to the above facts in the story, where it happened, how it happened, and when it happened. Okay, the chapter starts with a question. Okay. Introduction, Rashida's question. Rashida sat reading the newspaper. Suddenly, her eyes fell on a small headline. 100 years ago. How? She wondered. Could anyone know what had happened so many years ago? Here, while reading this newspaper, one of the headlines struck on Rashida. Okay, while we are also reading the newspaper, some headlines will struck on us. No, like that. Rashida wondered by saying, 100 years before. Okay, so the chapter starting the question I told you, and oh my god, this Rashida wondered 100 years ago. Children, we know the things what happened in the morning. Okay, some fellows will forget that too, isn't it? But here, how do we find out what happened 100 years ago? And for that, we have to go to the past. First, I am saying about yesterday. Yesterday, what thing happened in our life means just it is very easy for remembering what happened yesterday. And for 1 year before also we will, just we can remember about what happened 1 year before. Otherwise, we will memorize, or we can ask to our parents. Okay. And if it is 100 years before means what will we do? Yes, we can just go through this some medias. Now it is available. We can go search in some Google or something else. But it was not like before. If we need to find out something happened last year, then we could ask somebody who remembers. Like that, we can find out things what happened years or 10 years ago. We could search on some books, newspapers, or we could search on other medias. Because we know we are living on 2020, and this is the 73rd year after we have got independence in 1947. Isn't it? You got my point? I mean, now we developed a lot. If we want to know about something happened 100 years or 1000 years ago, what could we do? Yes, coins, inscriptions, manuscripts were recorded in our history. Now we understand the importance of history. Whatever things happened in the past, that all comes under history. So here we are going to discuss about why and what can we know about the past. If we want to know about the past, the following things we have to go through. Then only we can understand about the past. First, which type of people lived in the past and what they ate, what type of clothes they wore, the houses in which they lived, their lives or occupation. Okay, these things we have to discuss. Look, early people, what they used to eat, whether they got whatever things like us in this age. No. Today morning, what did you eat? Somebody of you eat the idlis, somebody eat the noodles, somebody eat other food, like what you like. But it was not like that in the early ages, because it is not possible for cooking and it is not possible for getting that type of food for them. Okay, so and what did they eat? Then the question arises. Yeah, they collected. What did they collected? But if they don't know, have any possibility of getting or cooking the food, but they have a vast knowledge of the plants in the forest. Okay, so what did they do? They collected the fruits, they collected the roots, or they collected the forest products for their food. I think you got the first point. So what they ate? They ate the roots of the plants, the fruits from forest, or the forest products what they collected from the forest. Okay, and second, the next point is coming. What type of clothes they wore? What type of clothes they wore? We can imagine that, no? Because they wore this. Many of you people are. I think you saw that in some pictures or something that the early man wore the leaves, not like this denim that clothes like nowadays. They wore leaves and bark of the trees. Okay. So the second point also you got. What type of clothes? They wore the leaves and the bark of the trees. Okay, and the houses in which they lived. The next point is coming, the houses in which they lived. Next I am also asking to you whether they lived in a kacha house or a paka house or a double-storied building. Isn't it? No, because it was also not there. They lived under the trees and they lived in the caves in the forest. So, your third question also you got the answer. And next look, the lives and the occupation. Look. Initially, the early man was a hunter. Okay, first what did they do? I told you that they collected the fruits, they collected the roots and they collected the forest products. In addition to that, some people, they hunted the animals and they ate the raw flesh. Okay, so what did the first occupation of the early man was? He was a hunter. Okay, one hunter, and then comes the hunter means they hunted animals for their food. Next comes the herder. What is the herder? Herder means started domestication. Okay, what? Started domestication. First the early man domesticated dog and likewise he started many animals to domesticate. So the herder means domestication of animals. Slowly they started farming, and after that what did he became as a farmer. Okay, first hunter, second herder, third he became a farmer. Farmer means he started farming, the development of agriculture. Started farming means, okay, we understand that the development of agriculture started. No, likewise there became a development in the society. First hunter, second herder, third farmer. So when the farming started, the agriculture developed, it led to a development in the society. Gradually what happened? Some rulers came into existence, some merchants came, musicians, that type of people came, artists came, priests came, scientists also came into existence. Okay, so I think you got all these points. And then the question will come, no, what about us, the children? Yeah, the children were there too, no? Yes, the children, what did they do? They sang songs, they heard the stories, they played with the others, played together, okay? Like that, the children also lived like that. So, here comes the other next point, where did people live? Already before I said they lived in the caves, but after that we learned about that the hunters, herders and this the agriculture started. So what happened when agriculture started, the development started, so the settlement started, people started to live in groups. Okay, like so the way did people live, this also we have to find out from the past. So people lived along the bank of rivers. So first where they started the settlement along the bank of the rivers. Here in our textbook map 1 is there in the page number 2. Okay, in that the 6 points are coming. Look, Narmada, Suleiman and Kirdar hills to the northwest, Garo hills, Vindhyas, Indus and its tributaries, Ganga and its tributary called the Sun. We can see all these places in above map. The chapter describes people lived in these areas. First point, Narmada. And what about the way of life of the people? People lived along the banks of the rivers for thousands of years. Next, what was their profession? Skilled gatherers gathered their food, collected fruits, roots, forest products, vast knowledge of plant life, animal hunting. These things are coming under the topic Narmada. I am going to explain. Look, people lived along the banks of Narmada for several 100,000 years. Okay, they were skilled gatherers. Gatherers means collecting of food. Okay, they were skilled gatherers. They gathered their food. What were their food? They collected fruits, roots, forest products, and they had a vast knowledge of plant life, and they hunted animals also. Okay, so these are the simple points. You can remember it very fast. First, people alone lived in the banks of the river for thousands of years. Their profession was they were skilled gatherers. They gathered or they collected their food as the fruits, roots, forest products, and they had a vast knowledge of plant life. They hunted animals also. The second point, Suleiman and Kirdar Hills. The Suleiman and Kirdar Hills located in the northwest. Now it is in Pakistan. Okay. And traces of the crop growing. First, the traced crop growing in Suleiman and Kirdar Hills. Which crops? Wheat and barley. 8,000 years people lived there. Agriculture, they started agriculture, animal domestication, sheep, goat, cattle were there, animals. And agriculture, trade, village development. Trade, flourish, so village development. So these are the simple points, and I am going to explain it. Once more, check it. Suleiman and Kirdar Hills. Suleiman and Kirdar Hills, when you go through the map, you can see it on the border of Pakistan in northwest side. They started crop growing, and children, please listen. It was 8,000 years ago. Okay, when it was 8,000 years ago, and the crop was wheat and barley. So first we traced what the first crop we traced out. The first crop we traced out were wheat and barley, and it was traced on the Suleiman and Kirdar Hills. Now it on the border of Pakistan. Remember these points. Okay, and one thing you have to notice that it was not on the banks of Narmada. This thing also you have to notice that it was not on the banks of the Narmada. It was on the Suleiman and Kirdar Hills. First the crop were traced, and the first crop were wheat and barley. It was on Suleiman and Kirdar Hills. They began domesticate animals like sheep, goat and cattle. And after that, we can find out that the animal domestication also, and which type of animals they domesticated? They domesticated sheep, goat and cattle. Okay. So after that, we can see that we already learned the wheat and barley now. So agriculture also started. When agriculture started, what will happen? The surplus amount of these crops were there now. So the trade also started. Okay, trade started because when agriculture developed, trade flourished. Small settlements started and villages developed. When the trade flourished, what happened? Trade flourished, the small settlements started and villages developed. Third, Garo Hills and Vindhya. Okay, the other place agriculture developed, trade, village, rice was first grown to the north of the Vindhyas. Listen, these are the points. Why I am giving the flow chart to you means, it is very easy to remember. Always all are saying that social science is a dry subject or a boring subject. But children, I don't know why you are saying like that, because I think you have to read the textbook like that. No, here I am helping you to make it as a simple subject. Okay, listen, I am just giving the small points. You have to make these points just out or write or in your textbook or in a note you have to write. And just read the textbook 1 or 2 times, then it will be in your mind. I am giving you the surety. Okay, so you can write it faster. So listen, here and after the Suleiman and Kirdar Hills, we are coming to the Garo Hills and Vindhyas. Here also some other places the agriculture developed. As before I said, what happened if the agriculture developed means the trade will flourish. No, because of the trade flourished, the village settlements also started, and one important thing we have have to notice that in always the NCERT this exams time, one question is there, which crop was traced out in the Vindhyas. Listen, the rice. First time the rice was grown in the north of Vindhyas. This you have to remember. Rice was first grown to the north of Vindhyas. The fourth point, Indus and its tributaries. Indus and tributaries 4,700 years ago, cities flourished on the banks of these rivers. Okay. After that, the fifth point, Ganga and its tributary, the sun. What is the sun? Sun is the tributary of the Ganga. It is known as the sun. 2,500 years ago, cities developed on the banks of the Ganga and sun. South of Ganga, Magadha, powerful kingdom came up. Just we can go through these points. Indus and its tributaries. About 4,700 years ago, some of the earliest cities flourished on the banks of these rivers. About 4,700 years ago, some of the cities flourished on the banks of these rivers. Okay, cities flourished. So, I think you got the point. Next, Ganga and its tributary, the sun. The sun tributary of the Ganga is known as what? The sun. Okay. Later, about 2,500 years ago, cities flourished on the banks of the Ganga and its tributary called the sun. And other important thing here we have to notice is that Magadha, the powerful kingdom in history, a very important place for this Magadha rulers. Okay, the Maurya dynasty is coming. Okay, so the Magadha, the powerful kingdom, came into existence in the south of the river Ganga. So we already described where did people live, and I think you got all these points. Okay, from the map. Okay, 6 points are there. And again, this is the next heading: why people travel earlier or nowadays. Look, first point, livelihood. Second, natural disasters, merchants, religion, adventure. Okay, and some other natural disasters means flood, drought, merchants in caravans or ships. Okay, just go through these points. I already told you small points I am giving for your simple learning. And these points you have to remember 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points are there. 5 natural disasters, flood, drought, etc. Merchants, caravans or ships. Okay, just I am going to describe these points. Livelihood. What is the livelihood? We know that for our living we have to earn for our bread now, like that. Okay, so men and women moved in search of livelihood. So even now also the men and women are traveling. Your mother, if she is a teacher, she is earning the bread for your house. That what she is doing. She have to prepare all the things for you. She have to travel from one place to other. Like the traveling is coming. Like your mom, dad also doing the same work. Maybe your grandparents, all we can see our neighbors are doing this work. No, so for livelihood. Okay, men and women moved in search of livelihood to escape from natural disasters. Second point, natural disasters. Natural disasters means flood or drought. If a flood is coming, last year we saw the big flood in India or in Kerala, the southernmost state, we saw a very big flood. No, many people suffered a lot. Yeah, like that. What the flood is coming, what will you do? In Assam also always it is coming now. So what will the government do? Government will take the people from there to the other places, like that. When the flood or drought it comes, the people will move from one place to other. And merchants travelled in caravans or ships for carrying valuable goods. But here I gave the examples of nowadays, but it was not like that. We are saying a bit about the past. Okay, at that time for the natural disaster, when the flood and drought came, the people travelled. At that time the livelihood was not different from nowadays, so they travelled for their livelihood. They travelled for natural disasters. And the merchants at that time, how they travelled? They travelled in the ships for carrying valuable goods from place to place. So, next the religion comes. At that time, the religious teachers walked from village to village. At that time, no vehicles were there no. So, the religious teachers walked from village to village to offer instruction and advice. Next, some people travelled by a spirit of adventure. At that time also, there was an adventurous spirit. Nowadays, we have this adventurous spirits. No, like that. Then also, the people had the adventurous spirits and they travelled for that. So children, I took the half of the chapter today and I think all of you got all the points. I think so. If you have any problem, because I started this channel to make social science a simple subject for you, how to remember the points one by one and how to write the social science very easy. So don't think it as a dry subject or a boring subject. I am here to helping you to make it as a simple subject, but I need your help. That means your valuable comments. While you're going through this, you can understand whatever in your mind, it comes to you only. So please share with me, then only I can improve for you. And subscribe my channel and please comment on, so then only I can improve, I told you. And bye bye. This is Ashwati Nair. That half of the lesson is over, so we can see with the other half with the next video. Bye bye.